Well, growing up in Ukraine, during still USSR and communism, and it's been quite a change. Its life feels like it never was stable, right? It's kind of always this struggle after struggle after struggle. But one of the things that it's actually not really, it's more like it's gonna be okay. It's really gonna be okay. It doesn't matter how much hardship. I'm actually grateful that I was born in Ukraine. We are very hard people. We are very determined, and eventually we will come out on the other side smiling. And I did. 20, I decided to come as an exchange student to US, and US messed up my paperwork. I was one out of 900 people. And I always used to say, well, I guess that's just my luck, I'm a special snowflake. But because of that, I was forced to leave US earlier because I left a job that they put me at. I passed out from the heat and nobody cared less. They're like, you make me the most money in the store, you're gonna stay where you stay. And I'm like, well, I don't have that good of a health to begin with to continue this work. But no one really cared. So I moved to a different city by myself, trying to figure out, how can I take advantage of the next 2 months that I still have on my visa and earn some money back. My parents probably saved up for almost a year, even to be able to provide that opportunity for me to leave for these 5 months of this exchange, not exchange to, but work and travel program. And US didn't want to, the company that was watching after us just did not care. And they're like, you broke the rules, you left your job, it's time for you to go. And I could not even comprehend that my parents did so much work to provide me with this opportunity. And now here I am, will be coming back 2 months earlier, not even earning back, the money that they gave me to send me to US. So I decided, I was literally sitting on my suitcase with a ticket back home 2 months earlier. And I was thinking to myself, what am I doing? This was kind of like, the life choice. Am I gonna go back home and, put myself and my parents in a situation of more struggle just because of somebody else's fault? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So I called my parents and I said, I'm gonna stay. They're like, well, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna, like, what do you mean? You're gonna be staying illegally in US? And I'm like, no, don't worry, I will figure something out. And it took me 5 years, 5 different lawyers in 5 different states, but never ever once in my life that I have regretted that decision. Just because the opportunity that the United States provided for me to advance in life, also like explore a different culture and understand, because the mentality and the values in life of Ukraine versus US is very far apart. So it was a little bit of hard to adjust, but I called that place home for 12 years. Me and my husband, actually, we were both born in Ukraine. We both lived in New Jersey, and we both moved to Vegas 2 months apart, and we only met in Vegas. And when we met, we kind of had a quick fling, nothing serious. I don't think I was in the right headspace, let's just say, of pursuing a long-term relationship. And he just got out of a long-term relationship as well, and that's why he actually moved to Vegas to kind of start over. And to meet someone out of all places in Vegas is always like, oh yeah, that's never gonna end good. For us, it was very different. We kind of went our separate ways, and 5 months later, we reconnected. And I was actually going for my immigration interview in LA. And at that time, my license was expired, my registration was expired, and if I would get pulled over on the road, I would have gone straight to the airport. And all these 5 years and crazy amount of money that I've spent trying to get the green card would have all gone to waste. And a lot of my friends at that time, because I was pretty new to Vegas, it was only there for like 7 months at the time, nobody could give me a ride to LA. So he actually messaged me a day before I was supposed to leave, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm just going through my immigration case. This is pretty much my last chance. I've done all that I could, and just because my license is expired and registration, if I get pulled over, that last chance will pretty much be swept away from me." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll give you a ride." Are you sure? So we ended up going to LA, 3-hour drive, and that was really kind of the first time that we ended up chatting, just talking for 3 hours. Don't really know each other that well. And we got to LA, and that same night we literally stayed talking again till 4 o'clock in the morning. And both of us woke up the next day and we knew this is it. We stayed another day. I did my immigration interview. We came back, and I go, "Listen, I need to, go back home. I gotta go to work tomorrow." He's like, "Well, you realize you live here now." I go, "What?" I go, "Okay, well, I guess I'll sell my furniture." And that's literally how it went. We reconnected. Day 3, I moved in, and a few months later, we got married. And now here we are, 14 years. In 2014, my mom passed away from cancer. And when I went back to Ukraine for her 1 year, getting together with the family, remembering her life, I came back to US feeling complete despair because my family felt nobody could still get over that. They were not living their life. They were not enjoying their life. They were literally just punishing themselves that they didn't do enough. So I came back to US, came back home. My husband was in California at that time. And he was asking me, "How is everything? How is your family?" I'm like, it's bad. It's really bad. People cannot go over that hump, and they just stuck. And I never want to be in that position. So we had a conversation, and we always dreamt of leaving, just taking a year off and traveling around the world, seeing different cultures, experiencing new life, different, and different experiences, different adventures. And that same day, I was telling him, I'm like, we're living in this beautiful place, we're in San Diego, but we're stuck in this hustle and this constant rat race, but we're not really enjoying life. Yes, we enjoy life here and there, but we kind of got caught up with work versus enjoying life. And just because we always were saying, when this happens, then we'll take off. Let's just get this down and then we will leave. And I just decided I don't want to wait anymore. So that day we decided to pick a date, which was December 1st of 2015, that we're gonna leave for a year and explore 18 countries for that year. And we just started a business 6 months prior to that. And we're like, how are we gonna take off now? But my mom was always kind of an inspiration for me because she was the first of my family to even go anywhere abroad. She was always making things work. Don't know how. She was a single mom, but she was always figuring stuff out and trying to enjoy life as much as possible, simple little things. So even though the business was brand new and a lot was riding on us for it to succeed or fail, we just decided it doesn't matter. We will work as hard as we can until December and establish the foundation that will be able to support us. And that's it. We started selling out furniture, getting rid of everything, had one storage unit, and packed up, booked 18 countries. We had everything booked for the whole year, and we left. And because one of my very good friends from San Diego, he came here a year prior, and he came for 2 weeks, came back to San Diego, and literally moved a month later. I was like, why Colombia? Like, what are you gonna do there? It's like, well, don't ask any questions. Just come visit and you will understand. I had zero expectations of Colombia. I didn't really know much about it. And I was pleasantly surprised just because the beauty of this incredible city is just stunning. It's pretty much sitting inside the park. And that's what I really love. I love to balance whenever I travel a nature life together with the city life. And this kind of has the best of both worlds. And the food scene is spectacular. There's an amazing community of expats and locals as well that kind of grew over the years. It just felt like home, and life is easy here. That's kind of like always when everyone asks, like, why would you move to Colombia out of all places? Love it. Life is easy for me personally.